one and only GM, and today we got a real special guest today, and the special guest we got today is the one and only Goarmy. Goarmy is a Tekken God Omega Raven player. He's very notorious for being ham, and word he gets it in on PSN. So, that's today's guest, and we're gonna get it in right now. So, Goarmy, tell us
Yeah.
about yourself. Like when you first started playing Tekken. Um, why you choose the character you play, and yeah, let's get started.
All right, let's get it. So, everybody, fans of the stream and all that, Goarmy0586. Some people call me Hendith, whatever. I've been playing Tekken on and off since about like 1998. My first Tekken was Tekken 2. I was at my friend's house and he was just there, and I just started playing it, and it was like this is like back before like everybody had electronics. Like there was only one TV in that house, and it was like eight of us. So I only got like a few matches in, but like the feeling stuck with me. I first started playing online Tekken. I would say probably like Tekken 6, but that I was just mashing. I didn't really know anything. The first time I actually hit practice mode was Tag 2. Tag 2 is when I really like fell in love with the game because I played actually Street Fighter more. Like I was big and heavy. I was actually legitimate in Street Fighter 4, and I played Street Fighter 3, and then Tag 2 kind of swung me over. A lot of people see that as the gimmicky Tekken, but I saw it as like my standards were pretty low because I wasn't that level. But then also Revolution came out, so now I was like, okay, my former Tekken is a little crazy, but they got the Ringling Brothers Tekken over there, that circus crap. Then I came to Tekken 7. What? Oh my god, bro! I don't know how many years of my life I've lost from playing that damn game. It's just I love the sport and I love the game, but it's too cartoony now. It's too cartoony now. I could go into more depth, but I'd stick with it because I do have a specific character. You guys know me as a Maven main. Been playing Master Raven since January 27th, 2018. That's when I picked her up. I was actually a Lars main before in Tekken 6.
Good choice.
Um,
Good choice.
yeah, freaking both. He was busted. What down for it too to everything. I was Lars main for a while, and then I launched of Tekken 7. They removed so many tools from him because they wanted to nerf him, and them nerfing him is kind of what made me like draw towards Raven. At the time, like I wanted to like get another character on the side, and then I played against Young Skywalker and another Raven player. I think his name was Affairs in Order or whatever. And I saw the combos and I saw her design, and that's what made me like her because she kind of looked like Rihanna with dreadlocks. That's that's the image. I was like, yo, she's easy on the eyes, and
Yeah,
the
word.
combos are dope. And because Raven was been in Tekken since Tekken 5, but I never was interested in him. Like I think I was just like a Blade ripoff. But
Yeah, he looked
yeah,
just like
man.
Blade. That's why they put him in the game because around the time Tekken 5 came out, the Blade movies were popping, and Wesley Snipes was
That's
still
a
popping.
fact.
So I remember, when I was going to arcades and playing the games, like casuals would be like, "Yo, that's Wesley Snipes. I want to play with Wesley Snipes." That's what they used to call. They even call him Raven. They call him Wesley Snipes,
It's
or
nice.
they call him Blade. So that's what people knew him for because of the movies and stuff like that.
I'm actually surprised that Namco didn't get like sued because like I remember back in the day the 443 move, the flying knee by Raven was actually called Vampire Strike. Like it was a
Wow.
complete rip. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
switched it to Sudden Strike. They switched it to Sudden. I think it Tekken let's see Tekken 6, Tekken 7. So yeah, that literally was a copy of the character. Also, towards the end of that time, positive Wesley Snipes got imprisoned for
Mm.
tax evasion. That's probably why they didn't pay him his dues. I mean, he's out now, so I think if they was to do that same character, it'd be a whole different situation.
Yeah, most likely because he was in jail for a while and then he came out and he was in a bunch of straight to DVD movies and a couple of Netflix joints. So yeah, he had the whole IRS joint. That's why he went to jail and not. But what made you? All right, you already said why you played Raven, but do you? Why did you like switch mains? Like, cause you played Lars, right? And I know
Yeah.
Lars was really good in T6 and in Tag 2. Will you go back to Lars in Tekken 7 if Raven doesn't come back? Cause he might be really good in T7.
You know what's crazy? Actually, that's actually a good point you bring up. If Master two, I'm gonna touch on two things. One, I'm in love with the character Maven. I think Master Raven in general is not just the move list, but just the design of the character, similar to how somebody like Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Mm.
So if they don't bring her back as she is, even if they bring back Male Raven, I'm not gonna play that character. So
Oh wow.
I would play a secondary. I would either play Lars or I would play maybe a new character or maybe Lee, but most likely Lars. Most because you're right, he does look crazy in that trailer.
Yeah, and since the game is a big offense game, Lars is already an offensive character, man. And that he could do his heat dash after 443. Like that's pretty OD. So he might be buffing that game. But who knows, man? Because ever since T6 Tag 2, they've been nerfing him. They learned their lesson with Lars, man. Because I don't know if you knew, but in T6, his 1-2 jab, that joint was like a homie move. You couldn't even sidewalk that joint.
Wow.
So a lot of high level Lars players like Home Man and stuff like that, and Core and Crow, they used to just jab you up. You know what I'm saying? They used to just jab you up. Like the only weakness Lars had in that game was that when he went low, he was taking big risk.
Mm,
Because most of his lows are like launch punish, like down back 4, down back 1-3, and stuff
down
like that.
four.
Yeah, but literally that was his only weakness is that you could punish some of his big lows. But other than that, he was too good. High damage, rush you down. You couldn't really do much to that. You know what I'm saying? Like once he locks you up, and you had to take that. And then in tag 2, he was OD because he was just a perfect tag character. He did too much to help you with your tag assaults. You know what I'm saying? And then
Hmm.
and then that's why they took out the down forward 2 joint. That move was too good. The down forward 2, that just you know what I'm saying? On counter hit, full launcher, safe on block. That's why they give him that butt string, the down forward 2-1.
Yeah,
Because people like knee and stuff like that, they used to use that as a spacing counter hit tool too much. So that move alone makes it hard to approach Lars. So I think if they want to make Lars really good again, they got to give him that move back. Just a single
that's
strike,
facts.
they got to give him back. Because if you think about it, Lars don't really got a counter hit tool that you got to really worry about when you approach him. Besides risky ass down back 4 or 4-4-1+2, the elbow dash,
Double.
that's
It's
about
slow
it. It's slow and it only tracks like one way. So down 4-2, that joint made a good keep out and it made you a little bit scared to swing back
to
and
come
forth
in
with the
and remember
word.
back in the day. I think it was a vanilla Tekken 7. The butt string down 4-2-1. They actually changed it when the game first dropped. It was a mid high and it was safe.
Yeah.
Now they make a mid and it's negative. What is it, like -13 or something like
Yeah,
that?
like that. Yeah, it's not too bad, but it's not too good neither. Because you can't even
Yeah.
hit. If you
So
could hit confirm it, that would make it OD. But since you can't hit confirm, it's like whatever. But okay. For the next question, I want to ask, um, how is it playing online on PSN and all the players you met through the years? Because I played on PSN for a long time till I got a PC, and there's some characters on PSN, man. There's some characters, man. There's some weirdos. There's some funny dudes. There's all kinds of different types of players. So I want to know what's your experience playing PSN all these years and the different rivalries and people you have met playing PSN Tekken.
whew, I don't even know what to start because it's just a lot of like almost like there's a bunch of actors on PSN. Like some of these people, I've had conversations with them, and I just know they're not that in real life. Like it's almost like I remember in your last interview when you asked Real Noodle, and he said there's some people that he didn't even know. He beat them one time, and they hate him to this day.
Yeah,
And there's some
word.
players that to this day I don't even know how they look, and they say crazy stuff about me on Twitter and all these social medias and stuff like that. It's not as bad as PC because I think PC is just jail, but with PSN like there's still a good character base of players that are fun to play with, try to learn. They're not just overly toxic. When I mean toxic, my form of toxic is different than what other people play as toxic. Like I've been playing sports on and off my entire life.
Yeah,
So somebody calling somebody ass or stuff like that, that's not being toxic, that's being competitive.
yeah, I
That's
agree.
just
Yeah,
common.
that's how I
That's
feel
just
too.
common sense. Yeah. Toxic is like when you beat somebody, they're making like death threats to you or inappropriate stuff. Like personal attacks for no reason. That's why I take toxic when they're like you wouldn't say that in real life, dude. Like this is some
Word.
criminal shit you're saying.
Yeah,
So yeah. So that's the way I draw the line, and people don't really understand the difference. They think you can't, like, we all gotta hold hands like it's Sesame Street. Like, no, like Like, would you watch a football game if everybody was wearing the same red shirt and everybody was giving each other kisses on the cheek? No.
Nah, definitely not. That's
You need
boring.
some type of conflict. That's what makes people entertained.
Yeah, it's like when I think about it, what you said is kind of like wrestling. Imagine if wrestling, if there was no heels and everybody was just baby faces,
Hilarious.
and like after the match they just hug and handshake. There was no rivalries. There was no storylines. It just two baby faces fighting each other. I guarantee you, people will not watch wrestling, and them seats will not get packed. You need heels, you need rivalries, and you need trash talking for anything competitive. That's
That's
what people.
facts.
That's what people want to see, man. People don't want to see I love you, you love me. No storylines, no rivalries. I don't want to get better than you. I want to be even with you. That's not what competition is about. So I definitely agree with you on that.
That's what puts butts in seats. Like a lot of your old tournament matches, stuff like that, where a lot of people watch, they like the trash talk. They like the competition. They like the high level stuff. If you played every game, right, and every set, every tournament match, and you were just quiet the entire time, you would get like 2 views.
Yeah,
Like,
because
who wants to see that? Like, who wants to see a robot?
people love drama and people love competition. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why people know you too, cause like what I'm saying, you gets it in. You know what I'm saying? You vocal too. So that's a good thing to have, and especially in the scene where there's too many players playing the same characters, the same personalities. You know what I'm saying? There's no difference in them, but they know Go Army. You know what I'm saying? They be like, yeah, that's that Raven player.
Facts.
He's funny. He gets it in. We know him. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people like you have to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like you you
Facts. I
de- you,
mean,
you definitely have to talk, and speaking your mind is a great thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I can relate to you because I'm just like you. We speak our mind on stuff.
yeah, like just being real. It's not that hard to be real.
Yeah, it's not. It honestly, it's one of those things. People are scared to get canceled, and people are scared
Mm,
that certain people's gonna view them a certain way because they say stuff like that. So a lot of times, people tend to be overly nice, but when you overly nice, like it feels like the person is fake too because they're being too
that's
nice. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? It doesn't seem real. Like you know damn well that's like you step on a dude's new sneakers that he just bought and he don't even get mad at you and you leave like a nasty dirt mark on them. And he just looks at his sneakers and then looks at you and be like, "It's okay, man. Stuff like that happens, you know."
It's
And,
not realistic. You
and
know
then
damn
shakes his
well he.
hand. You know what I'm saying? And then keeps it moving. Like that's not gonna happen. You're gonna get tight. So
Yeah,
I
that's just. I mean, that's just how it is.
all right. So for the next question, I want to ask you,
Got
have you let me see what I'm asking you. Okay, for PSN, right? You played on PSN for a long, long time, right? Do you feel that the netcode is as bad as what people say? Because there's a lot of people that they dead ass feel that PSN is like super unplayable and you cannot play on it at all. Like because when I used to play on PSN and then I played players from PC that came to PSN, they was like, yo, I can't play you on PSN because I can't do this and that. And I'm telling you, for somebody that comes on PC, I will play on PC, right? And it's not much of a difference, man. Well, it is a difference because they both feel really, really different. But like now that I go back to PSN, it's not that bad because PC got the cheaters, it got the random crashes and lag switches. What do you feel as PSN Tekken as a whole when it comes to like the experience of playing? Do you feel like it's really, really bad, or do you think it's like kind of stable? Or there's even some people that think Tag Two Online is better. So what you think?
Okay, I got four things for that. One, Tag 2 Online is better overall, like
Yeah,
not just PSN, just everything. Two, what deters me from like PC is the cheating and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. Like people are getting banned from tournaments from having apps. You could download an app for free or pay some nerd in some corner $5 or $50, and you could auto low parry, auto block, auto break throws. There's also the risk of you work, like for example what happened to Caveman the other day. The man has been online on PC for like 2 years, right? Lost all his data randomly.
yeah, that
That could
sucks,
happen.
man.
That could happen on PC. That cannot happen on PlayStation because it's the cloud service. Another, most importantly, about PlayStation or PC, what I've noticed, and you've noticed this too, because you play on every console, literally. There's no
Yeah,
excuse. Pro player every console. There's players that I've destroyed on PSN that go to PC and somehow act like they won't lose to me because they're on a different console. Pushing on -6, getting hit by all the Raven streams, losing 3-0, losing 0 and 10. Magically, by buying a new console, that won't happen. But they're still doing the same stuff. People use it as a cop out for a lack of skill. Like, oh, PSN is so horrible. You tell them to run a set. Oh no, no, you gotta come to PC. They know damn well you're not gonna get PC. The only experiences that's better than being on PSN and PC is being offline.
Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
compare anything. Don't they try to say they try to like sweet like snake salesmen sell you the image that PCs offline. Like, no, there are dudes that are jobbers on PSN, right? That are on PC that say they're better than PSN players and are just as big as jobbers are they as they were on PSN as they are on PC now. There's dudes that were, let's say, Divine Ruler on PSN, and now they're like Eternal Rule on PC, and they're like, oh, Eternal Rule is the new Omega. I'm like, you're still not going nowhere. You're still doing the same crap. And you watch because all these dudes, like most of my friends that
Yeah,
stream on PC, and I'm still seeing bad gameplay.
yeah,
They have not leveled up. Like, and they all say, I'm fighting higher level opponents. Let's do the math. That's not realistic. There's like how many copies there? Tekken 7, like 3 million or something
yeah.
like
Some
that, or
7 million, some crazy thing like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
When it comes to pro players, what is it? There's like less than 50. So I'll just do like a little like subtraction, like, and just assume there's like a million people online because there's no way all 3 million people are still playing. You really think, and a percentage of that is on PC. You really think that everybody that's playing on PC now is fighting the top players when they're going for promotions? No, they're fighting janitors, they're fighting mathematicians and teachers and subway workers. Like, everybody's making it seem like they're fighting like you and Shadow and stuff like that every
yeah,
day. They're not.
yeah. They not,
So
nah.
I watched their stream, and it's insanity to me because the streams are all there. Like, all these dudes stream. You don't even have to be an important person to stream now, and they just get this image. I'm like, oh, I play this person. No, you don't. I just saw you play the dude that threw out my trash the other day. I just saw you play him. They be fighting dudes with 11,000 wins at Fujin, and it's acting like fighting the top five players in the world. I'm like, bro, it's literally a form. Well, I call it based on like what I've learned through education. That's insanity. You're trying to push something that you know is not true, and there's proof that shows it's not true,
Yeah,
and you show the proof on your environment. You're showing the proof, but you still go behind this. That's complete insanity. So
it's
that's why always argue with the PC versus PSN thing.
it's funny you say that because on I went back to PSN and I played a couple of matches. Then I went to PC and I ran into some PSN people, and they've been the same level for years, even though they, since they've been on PSN to PC. I'ma just name his name. I played WSY 50 whatever, the Zilling Zayu player.
I remember him.
I run into him on PC all the time. And I went back to PSN and I ran into him again. And I'm like, yo, this dude is literally the same level, even though he's playing on two different consoles, like two different things. So when you play on two different things, you got infinite amount of people to play against. And he's actually higher rank on PC.
That's hilarious.
And
That dude was
also,
a jobber on PSN.
so him and Volzar, I ran into Volzar yesterday. That's a PSN dude. He's actually higher rank on PC. On PC, he's a Tekken god.
Yeah.
On PSN, he was like Rajan or something like that, if I remember correctly. So I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying on that. My experiences with both, it's the same shit. The same
It
shit.
really is, dude.
The only difference is that one has cheaters and the other one doesn't crash and stuff like that. So I get what you're saying. At the end of the day, like you've seen the streams, not everybody's playing top list 24/7 unless you do a doctor's appointment
Exactly.
and hit them up on Twitter on the DMs and be like, "Yo, you want to play right now? All right, cool." And then you set it up. You're not randomly gonna run into a pro, and if you do, you're very lucky that you run into that pro
Exactly.
in quick match.
Because the
So
numbers, it doesn't add up.
yeah,
It doesn't physically add up.
it doesn't at all. What's another thing I want to ask you? What do you think about the whole social media aspect of Tekken? Like when it comes to like Twitter, Facebook, because the Facebook groups I was in in a couple of them. Those Facebook groups they go too wild, man, and Twitter go too wild too. So what do you think about the social media presence of Tekken and how people act in social media with Tekken? If it's like with clout or to show people that they're good at the game, or to get attention at the game. What you think about all of that?
Damn, that completely changed like the atmosphere of Tekken overall. I never got like a personal insult in Tekken until Tekken 7 through like the whole social media aspect. People just played and they talked trash, whatever, but not it never got to a personal point until Tekken 7, where somebody, putting pictures up on you and making memes and all that. That didn't exist back then. Like the worst somebody tried to money match you or whatever, I feel like it's actually a negative thing for the tech community. If you're talking about a competitive standpoint, I know the big wigs don't care because it's bringing people in, casuals. But for a competitive standpoint, I think it's just wrong because you got some players that are fraudulent. That like for example, somebody could lose 50 matches. They win a round, they post that round on Twitter, they get 40 views. Everybody thinks they're better than the player that just beat them 50 matches.
Yeah, word.
That's a consistent thing that's been happening. So you really it makes you have to like I didn't have to do this before, right? I have to investigate players to see if they're good or not. Because based on if you go off with just the social media, everybody's a god. It's like everybody's a god. So I don't like it one bit. I don't. I think it's just like I said, it's just to bring the eyes, but it's just bringing a whole different negative aspect into Tekken.
Yeah, I agree with you. It tends to. If it wasn't for social media, I don't think there'll be any drama in the Tekken scene. And the reason why I say that is because offline events, everybody's cool, or most of the time they don't even talk to each other. So like since people are not really talking to each other or nothing like that, or like getting into anything, there wouldn't be no drama. There wouldn't be no drama. Like social media and Twitter has brought all the types of dramas and the shit talking towards people. You know what I'm saying? In real life, like you said, in real life that nobody acts like that. So I think the scene would be a lot different if no social media existed. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is with that.
I'll
Uh,
give you an example, GM, that you bring that up. I hate to, but this is like a big point. So there's this very known player, right? He talks trash about everybody, talks crazy on social media. I'm not gonna say his name. Um, he went offline, right? A grown man twerked on his face, made fun of him. He didn't say a word. So it's this fake prerogative that people have through social media that's not really them. That's why when you said before, like with the older Tekkens, when people just played, it was more realism. You don't really talk to somebody how you carry yourself, knowing there's consequences based on how you act. Now people just do whatever because they're like, I'll never have to see that person ever in my life. It's the same thing as me moving to like California and creating a whole new life
yeah,
and lying to people.
yeah, it is what it is. And the people have different personalities when it comes to their internet personality and their real life personality. So nobody's gonna treat you.
Exactly.
They just gonna act like two different people. It's weird. It's like being a superhero, right? Or a villain. Like you Batman at night, but you Bruce Wayne during the day. Or you're, you know what I'm saying? Or you're like, I don't know, Mephisto at
Stop.
night, and then during the day you Captain America. Like it's just weird. People just have split personalities when it comes to being online and offline. So it is what it is. One other question I have. Um, I know you consider yourself a villain, and why is
Yes,
that?
that.
Because when I see your streams, it'd be like Goarmy the PSN villain. Why do you consider yourself a villain in the scene?
I feel like I'm a villain because I'm going against the social norms and I say things that people want to say but they don't. So
Makes
I
sense.
technically, in a way, I kind of antagonizing certain people just from being normal. Not even sometimes I'm not even trash talking just because I'm saying what everybody's thinking and I'm just saying it because this is how I am. So I have become a villain. And remember what I said about the definition between toxicity. Me being competitive can be seen as being toxic to a snowflake, but it's not. It is not. So that I become a villain because I'm going against, like I said, the social norms.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense because your views are ham, and you be straight up with it, and people, you know what I'm saying? People are not meets out like that. They really not.
That's
They
facts,
they
man. They gotta
they
keep it out.
they keep it in and they just quiet. And even if they don't like something, they don't say nothing about it. They just let it rock. And when you do that, you're gonna get disrespected over and over and over
Over
again.
and over again.
And if you have a stream, they're gonna keep going ham and ham and ham in your stream or whatever you do, and you're just gonna be quiet. So I respect it.
Translates to real life.
Yeah, exactly. Word. I respect that whole villain swag. Definitely. Another question I have is Would you ever like think about playing on PC, like ever, or for T8 you're just gonna stay on console? Like, would you ever like just try PC just to see what happens? Like, if you somebody gives it to you, son, or you decide to get it or whatever.
That's another good question. With the whole PC journey, I feel like it's too late now.
Yeah, for Tekken
Um,
7, I agree.
yeah. If this was like if I was had more hype into the game and this was like 2020, I might have made a transition if that would became the standard. But the way that Harada and all them are framing it, I feel like it's going to be optimized on PS5. I have a bunch of friends that are on PC that are telling me they're mainly going to play it on PS5 now, which is a way better console than PS4. So I feel like there's no real reason for me to go to PC. And then also, we all know based on the current fighting game FGC environment that everything has to be crossplay to compete. So what will be the point of me getting the PC now when the next generation is almost 100% chance guaranteed of being crossplay? That's like a waste. It's like,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna get the PC for one game. Like, what else am I gonna play on the PC just for the Tekken? Like, no.
yeah, that makes sense because you could just on PC like you could just play any of the console games on your current console. If you have a Nintendo Switch or whatever, you could play anything on that too. So that makes perfect sense. Um, Another question is, what are your goals when it comes to Tekken? Like your future in Tekken? Like, just what are your goals as a player and somebody that's in the community that plays Tekken?
Okay, that's a good question. At first I thought about was it being pro, but I have real life obligations and I work
Yeah,
way too much to sacrifice going days and weeks away for a tournament where I might win a McDonald's Big Mac or $50. I can't risk it. If it
yeah,
was like huge like prizes, maybe then I'll risk sacrificing a week of work to train to go to the tournament. But I'm not gonna put all that hard work, fight a monster, maybe lose and split like $10. Like, it
yeah. I
doesn't make
feel you.
sense. I do want to get better at the game though. So I'm always striving to get better at the game. But the pro aspect, I don't see that happening unless something drastically changes.
Makes sense. Yeah. Also, one other question because we got 9 minutes left, pretty much.
Got you.
Um, what do you think about when it comes to players, right? What do you think players need to do to get more successful, not just in Tekken, but in real life? Because I notice a lot of players they have this imagination about themselves, but in real life they struggling with all types of aspects. It could be women, money, all types of different stuff. So, what advice would you give somebody to help them in real life when it comes to all of that, like just life stuff? Because a lot of gamers they lost when it comes to anything that has to do with life, chicks, money, is everything. So what advice? Because you be calling people out for
Yo.
you be calling people out for being broke and not getting cheeks and stuff like that. So I had to
Facts.
ask you this meets out question. This is the one meets out question I gotta ask you. So what do you think about these dudes and what they need to do? Because to me too, when I see it, it's kind of sad too, especially when these dudes is like older people too, and you be like, yo, this dude need help. Like for sure, like the FGC is his scapegoat. Like he goes there because he's accepted, and that's cool to be accepted in your community. But in real life, you could tell that he's not
Lacking social skills.
in social skills, hygiene, all types of stuff. So what advice you got for these people, man? What do you think about these people?
That's one of those things where it's like at this age though, it's like it's hard to change if somebody's like, because some of those social aspects that me and you have, we were like raised with them.
Yeah,
I didn't sacrifice my social life for video games. I love video games, but I still went out. I still dated. I still went to the I There's people we know that never took a girl to the movies. There's dudes that are 30 something years old and they're virgin and they don't plan on getting married ever. Like stuff like that, that's a serious problem because you don't want when there's crimes in the world going on, like they look at this group as, okay, those are social outcasts, they're more likely to do stuff. You don't want to have that stigma on you. That's why I feel like I noticed that I gravitate and I become friends with Tekken players that have lives. It sounds funny, but if I can't, if we can't bond in some way shape or form, I feel like we couldn't be friends. If I feel like if you're like a social outcast by choice, because a lot of times that is, you put the video game above everything else, then I will have to part ways. I don't understand because Tekken is not, it's not paying the bills.
Yeah, it's not
It's
not
not
for
like
everybody. Yeah.
you're not gonna get, you're not for everybody. Like not even a percent, less than that. You cannot go through your life. What are you gonna do when you're 50 years old? If you never had a real job, you never got a sponsor playing Tekken, you just play Tekken online randomly. What
Yeah.
are you gonna do when, like, what like life, time is like this. You can't you can't be a troll cursing people out, calling them the N word and stuff like that on Twitter for the rest of your life. Eventually, rent's gonna be due,
Yeah,
and you gotta figure
exactly.
out, wait, this isn't all it was cracked up to be. There's several players I know that stopped playing Tekken because they weren't making my money and they had family stuff like that, and they put it to rest. Some of these dudes, they're in for a rude awakening, and I'm gonna just laugh, I'm gonna smile. That villain's gonna, because everything I said is gonna happen.
Yeah, man, that's it's a sad truth, man. Like if these guys, I just think if they're gonna take this thing seriously, they gotta stream, make some money out of it. Cause why would you keep doing something and not have a job and you're not making no money off of it? Cause money makes the world go around. If you broke,
Facts.
you're not gonna live. So it is what it is. But on this note, since we got 5 minutes left, let's do the last ending joint. I want to thank you for being on the show. And I want you to tell everybody where they can find you. Tell them about your stream, everything.
Got you. So I do stream Goarmy0586 on Twitch, Raven Player. I do variety too. I do stream like Squaresoft. I said Squaresoft, old head. I'm in my
Oh.
30s now. Square Square Enix. A lot of their games I play. I'm gonna stream Yakuza next week. You guys want to follow me on that on Instagram too. If you're not a weirdo, you can follow me at $_135. On Facebook, I'm rarely on it just to watch memes and videos and stuff. Also, Twitter, HennyBoy1990. You can follow me on all those platforms. You just want to talk about life and chill and vibe. I'm that guy. I'm that villain.
There you
It is
go.
what it is.
There you go, guys. So that's it for the Meets Out Cafe episode 2. Um, we're gonna have more guests like Go Army and other people. So be on the lookout. I'm not saying no names yet, but we got some special guests lined up for you guys in the next couple of days. And I would like to thank Go Army for being on the show again. And you could catch him on his streams and also on PSN. He's down to play anybody. So if
Facts.
you want to play against a high level Raven player, just go to his stream and ask for games. He would definitely be down to play you. Because when I was on PSN, me and him used to play all the
For
time, man,
years.
for years, man. And he's the reason why I know the Master Raven matchup so well. You know. So yeah, everybody, thanks for watching, and be sure to check out all the socials. It's fightinggm_tekken is the Twitch. All the socials is fightinggm, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And be sure to subscribe and like the video, and also mention what other guests you want me to put on the show, and any other ideas for content y'all want me to make. So on that note, peace out and take care, everybody. Peace out
Facts. Keep your meats out.
all day.